we speak to independent policing and crime analyst Dr. Mxolisi Mathebula. Doc, good evening to you, and thank you so much for your time. So you called it. I remember when I asked you if there was any chance at all that we could see Mr. Suliman Carrim come, you chuckled and you said you do not think that is a possibility. Here we are. I suppose you're not surprised.
Good evening, Bongiwe, and good evening to the viewers. I am not surprised at all. I said it last time, and I've said it on other platforms many times, that Mr. Carrim will never appear before the Madlanga Commission because there's quite a lot that he has to answer, and by the looks of things, he may not have those answers. So the best thing for him to do is to just play sick. I'm saying play sick because up to so far, the Commission is also fed up about what has been happening so far. Mr. Carrim and his legal team, they are not even make it easier for the Commission to get Mr. Carrim to come and testify. I'm glad the matter is put to rest today.
And when we speak about his legal team, at pains to try and make out a case why they believe that the current treating doctor should be the one that appears before the Commission, they've availed themselves and they can tell the Commission about what exactly his condition is. And of course, the Commission did not put this down as a condition. From your view, why this apprehension for him to submit himself to an independent medical examination?
We may not know exactly why is that so, but it looks like there is something that they're trying to hide, because they were given an option to say, let's have an independent assessment on his condition, but it looks like they were never even interested in going that route. But again, today, the legal team and Mr. Carrim, I think it's with his advice, they opted to rather be, appear in court, the Court of Criminal Justice, than to appear before the Commission. For what reason? It's only them that know.
And what difference would that make if one could ask, for example, to say you now are facing possible, criminal charges because now the Commission is going to be making this move to lay the criminal charges. We'll see the process ensuing, and still not opting to, go to discuss this with the Commission, but you want to do so in open court?
And I strongly believe that his legal team knows and understands the Commissions Act, because Section 6, subsection 1 of the Commissions Act number 8 of 1947 makes it an offense if someone who has been formally subpoenaed to appear and give evidence before the Commission fails to do so, and they further fail to provide sufficient cause of evidence, that is a crime. Maybe they think that if it goes to the legal route, goes to court, they may be able to defend their position, but still, they will be asked to ask almost similar questions. What was the reason for him not to testify before the Commission? What was the reason for you, the legal team, and Mr. Carrim to refuse an independent assessment of Mr. Carrim? So that will be interesting to see, but I don't think it will make any difference. It may make matters worse, the way I see it, Bongi.
So when it comes then to the work of the Commission, do you believe that it places them in a position of disadvantage as far as making findings is concerned, or what we heard when the evidence was actually being placed on record could be sufficient for them to reach a conclusion and also take into account what he had to say when he appeared before them the first time around?
I think it doesn't put the Commission in a difficult position as such, because his affidavit is available. So it is putting him in a disadvantaged position because he was given a chance to provide the Commission with clarity where they needed some clarity. But now, because he doesn't want to exercise the right to appeal for the Commission will use whatever they have to reach examination and a finding. Whether that finding is in his favor or not in his favor, but I guess it was a good thing for him, or to be a good thing for him to appear for the Commission, and that's exactly what happened. But he did not want to exercise that right. So the findings may not be in his favor.
Yeah, and we're still waiting even for those financial records that the Commission has been asking for quite some time. So in another related matter to the Commission, there's this issue of this laptop that is said to have been frozen for 18 months, going in repairs or not. And with Parliament entering the fray to say Mr. Fadil Adams is not telling the truth, that his laptop had been having technical difficulties. But today he's coming out to say that Parliament is lying. He says he's got proof, etc. Is this a sideshow as far as some of the questions that he needs to answer are concerned?
The way I see Mr. Adams, he doesn't take the Commission serious. He doesn't take anyone serious but himself. So it means, in other words, everyone is lying but himself. So it will be interesting to hear what he's going to say next week when he appears for the Commission. But the issue of the laptop is neither here nor there. Parliament has said it eloquently, and they even provided what is before them in as far as evidence is concerned, the dates and the problems that the laptop encountered. But the 18 months that it has been freezing, and it's neither here nor there. But it will be interesting to see what he's going to say. The more he talks to the media, the more he digs his heel very deep into the sand. That's the problem that I'm seeing with him.
And as a final one, when Ms. Ramsamy was ending off her testimony, rather, she did make quite a passionate plea to South Africans to say that may we not write off IDEC, because yes, there's been a lot she's had to say. These are allegations, of course, that we still need to hear the other side as far as Advocate Johnson is concerned. But she's talking about how this institution is really important, and it continues to have men and women who are dedicated to dealing with the issues of crime and corruption. From that particular vantage point, though, one would ask how much damage has been done to brand IDEC, and where do they begin to try then and deal with that very aspect of restoring public trust?
I fully agree with her that IDEC is an institution that we need in South Africa to fight corruption at the highest level. And I still believe that there is some credibility that can still be restored as far as IDEC is concerned, because there have been some calls for others, as real political parties, to say IDEC must be disbanded. But I still feel like maybe it's too hasty for us to say it must be disbanded holistically, so that we come up with a new institution that will fight corruption in South Africa. There are good individuals within IDEC. I've seen in the case of the former Minister of Defense, there are so good investigators there. So what needs to be done is just to make sure that the checks and balances are in place so that IDEC is resuscitated and their dignity is restored. They can do much for South Africa.
Appreciate your time as always. Thank you for speaking to us. Independent policing and crime analyst, Dr. Mxolisi Mathebula.